described by reviewers as the cure for cynicism and a book that restores faith in humanity, has much to inspire Unitarian Universalists. It didn't take more than a chapter or two for me to think to myself, Theo is a UU, because he demonstrates many of our beloved UU values. In the book, however, he is actually a Portuguese Catholic man, and he conducts his life based on values that are very consistent with ours as UUs, with kindness threaded throughout all of his actions. Consider the value of equity. This is our UUA logo for our values. Consider the value of equity, the inherent worth and dignity of every person. Theo demonstrates this in many instances, but especially in his relationship with Ellen. Ellen is unhoused and has a mental illness. She is crude and has poor communication skills. She offends people. Theo sees beyond the surface and discovers a woman who has a great capacity for love and connection, but is judged by the people around her, and because of this, she is isolated and lonely, which then exacerbates her mental illness. We could substitute a great many examples of people who are treated poorly and disrespected for reasons that, at best, are thoughtless, and at worst, cruel. Think of the refugee who has lost her home status and community and is treated with suspicion and threats instead of compassion. Think of the trans youth who only wants to be accepted as they are, but their family continues to address them by names and pronouns that no longer resonate with their authentic self. Or about the person who is falsely accused of a crime and shamed on social media before the truth comes out. While we could argue about the specifics of the individuals, we are called to stand up for marginalized people in our own community. Honoring a person's dignity includes respecting and supporting their reality, not our perceived ideas of what their reality should be. The inherent worth and dignity of every person, period. Another UU principle, generosity, is also evident in Theo's actions. Earlier, I mentioned Kendrick, a night custodian whose daughter, Lamisha, was injured in a car accident that killed her mother. When Theo learned of the young girl's hospitalization and substandard care in an indigent facility, he anonymously arranged for specialty medical and financial support for Lamisha and her grandmother, who lived with Kendrick and his daughter. I am proud of the generosity shown by this congregation. Our Share the Plate program has supported an array of nonprofit organizations in our community, such as the Lake Pierce Food Pantry, Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, as you heard earlier, the Farm Workers of Florida, and many others who serve the less fortunate. In addition, our Social Justice Committee has developed a strong relationship with Eustis Heights Elementary School, supporting the teachers and staff, providing tutoring, and delivering Christmas gifts from the congregation to students in need. We all want to do more for those in our community who are suffering. Another value that we UUs hold dear is justice. In Theo of Golden, justice is not portrayed primarily as punishment for wrongdoing, but as the compassionate act of recognizing each person's worth and helping to restore what has been damaged or overlooked. The driver of the car that devastated Kendrick's family was Mateo Mendez. He was an undocumented immigrant from Guatemala who had previously lived and worked in the United States for many years. He was deported, but later returned because his young daughter in Guatemala had cancer, and he needed to work in the U.S. to raise enough money to pay for her treatment. While driving through the dark of night to avoid being caught, he fell asleep at the wheel, causing the crash that killed Lamisha's mother and severely injured Lamisha. Kendrick had every reason to seek the harshest punishment. Mateo caused the death of his wife and his daughter's lifelong injury. But when Kendrick learned Mateo's full story, including that of his daughter, who was suffering from a serious illness like Lamisha was, he chose compassion. This is what he said to his attorney. "I've been thinking a whole lot about it, really since the day it happened. I've been thinking. At first, I wanted y'all to punish him really hard for what he did. I even felt that way yesterday morning till I finally saw him in court. I don't think that little man meant any harm. It was just a terrible, awful accident, and he's already paid a high price, don't you think? Even Lamisha, she's all upset Mr. Mendez can't see his daughter. I think he's been through enough already, don't you? My little girl says the same thing. So you can tell the judge that's how I feel about it. Justice is not always black and white, and it's not always about crime and punishment. A higher form of justice might include forgiveness and mercy. Interdependence is also important to UUs, and I would go so far as to say is central to our reason for being. I'm often asked, why do you go to church if you don't believe in God and all y'all believe different things? For me, it's all about our shared values and our commitment to live those values in community. We're not perfect, and it's difficult to live these values consistently, but I believe that we all want to make a difference. Together, we produce a synergy that allows us to make much more of an impact than any of us could alone. In Theo of Golden, the theme of interdependence is demonstrated through the way the characters' lives are deeply connected, even when they don't initially realize it. Theo's gifts of the portraits symbolize how people are connected across time, place, and circumstance. By returning lost images to people, he helps them reconnect with their own stories and with others who matter to them. The portraits become reminders that every person's life is part of a larger web of relationships. A recurring idea in the book is that when people truly see one another, as Theo does, they move from judgment toward empathy. Understanding another person's story changes the observer as well as the person being seen. In Theo of Golden, interdependence is shown through the way every person's life touches many others. The novel argues that we are shaped by one another's actions, and that healing, justice, and hope are possible only through connection. Next, let's explore the value of pluralism. We UUs believe that we are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, experience, and spiritual beliefs, or lack thereof. In Theo of Golden, the theme of pluralism is demonstrated through the emphasis on the value of different perspectives, experiences, cultures, and ways of understanding the world. The book suggests that a richer and more compassionate community emerges when people make room for one another's stories rather than assuming there is only one way to see the truth or to view the world. Theo's interactions with people from different backgrounds demonstrate the importance of listening and making connections. He didn't seek to make everyone the same. Instead, he honored the uniqueness of each person's story and helped people recognize shared humanity amid differences. The novel portrays a community where healing depends on people bringing their different histories, beliefs, and experiences together. Pluralism is not merely tolerating differences, but is allowing those differences to enrich the understanding and compassion of us all, to make us better people. Our final value in the perimeter of our logo is transformation. For this one, I need to tell you the rest of the story. One night, Theo awakened at 1 a.m. Unable to get back to sleep, he put on his robe, opened the balcony doors, and settled into a chair with a book. Around 2 in the morning, he heard a commotion. From his balcony, he witnessed 3 drunk young men harassing Ellen near the fountain. One man stole her hat, while another tried to throw a bicycle into the fountain. Ellen fought back ferociously, scratching and clawing at her attacker, who then brutally beat her. Theo leaned dangerously over his balcony railing, shouting for them to stop. He lost his balance, and he fell to the sidewalk below. The attackers fled, leaving Ellen severely injured and bleeding, and Theo fatally wounded on the pavement. A passing couple discovered Theo's body and called for help, but it was too late. News of Theo's death spread quickly throughout Golden. Yellow crime tape marked the spot where Theo fell. The area quickly transformed into a makeshift shrine with flowers, cards, and tributes to the saint of the promenade. The authorities concluded that Theo simply fell over the balcony rail. None of his friends could provide the authorities with Theo's full name. In the aftermath, the police investigation revealed Theo's true identity. He was Gamez Theophilus Zilevez, known worldwide as Zila, a renowned Portuguese artist whose works hang in major museums. A newspaper article recounted his birth in 1932 in Portugal, where he worked in vineyards before being discovered by a London art distributor. The article also described his decades-long career, his reclusiveness after his wife and daughter died in 1987 from a car accident, and his mysterious decision to live anonymously in Golden. Though he continued to produce art, he remained intensely private. The newspaper mentioned his passion for rivers and his love of nature. His final works, completed earlier that year, were a collection of canvases called The Blues of Golden, which included images of a hat, shoes, a feather, and a riverscape, all symbols of some of the stories that the people of Golden had shared with him. The final revelation came when Asher learned that decades earlier, his mother and Theo had fallen in love while studying art in Madrid. When she suddenly returned to her hometown of Golden, she was pregnant with Asher. She quickly married a longtime sweetheart, but wrote to inform Theo that Asher was his son, and she begged Theo to never contact her. Asher found a final portrait and a stash of letters confirming that Theo was actually his biological father. Years later, Theo had come to Golden specifically to meet his son. I'd like to share a quote from the prologue of the book that describes the transformative nature of Theo's time in Golden. Only a year, not so long, but long enough to create a current of his own and to catch others in it. Without knowing it, a whole cadre, Asher, Kendrick, Ellen, and dozens of others, was being carried along by the vortex that was Theo, floating, sailing, gathering mass and momentum, running to an ocean they knew little about at the time. And looking back, all would have said, in praise of that old Portuguese man with the lilt in his voice and the hint of a smile constantly on his lips, our hearts burned within us. A memorial service for Theo was held 2 weeks after his death. Friends who had received portraits from Theo sat in the front rows, holding their framed drawings, including Ellen, who was still bruised and bandaged. The priest delivered a eulogy contrasting Zila the famous with Theo the familiar. He urged everyone to honor Theo's memory by continuing his legacy of goodness. He suggested that Theo's year in Golden was a gift and that his anonymous generosity was inspired by love. And finally, of course, love is at the center of our values and makes all of the others possible. These words by UU minister J. Abernathy Jr. elucidate our value of love. We affirm that love is our greatest purpose. Accepting one another is the truest form of faithful living. The search for truth is our constant star. We pledge our hearts, minds, and hands to challenge injustice with courage, to find hope in times of fear, and to live out our Unitarian Universalist values every day as a beloved community. Thus do we covenant with each other and with all that is sacred in life. Love is implicit in all of the UU values. Without it, we would have neither the motive nor the means to live the values. In short, to do good, to be good. During a conversation with Asher about his art, Theo said, "For anything to be good, truly good, there must be love in it. I'm not even sure I know fully what that means, but the older I get, the more I believe it. There must be love for the gift itself, love for this subject being depicted or the story being told, and love for the audience. Whether the art is sculpture, farming, teaching, lawmaking, medicine, music, or raising a child. If love is not in it, at the very heart of it, it might be skillful, marketable, or popular, but I doubt it is truly good. I think we've seen this contrast in action. For example, what makes two equally qualified individuals very different in their interactions with others? Whether we contrast two different physicians or two different grocery store cashiers, I think you know what I mean. What drives one to make an effort, to be welcoming, to act as if they want to help you versus just get you out the door? I would argue that it is love. You may call it skill or talent, but I believe that to engage fully with others for the purpose of making something better, love must be present. This is why love is at the center of equity, interdependence, justice, generosity, pluralism, and transformation. All of our values depend on it. Being part of this congregation reminds me to try my best to live our values and makes me a better person. In closing, I'll share one more quote from the priest that officiated Theo's memorial service. And so I say to you, my friends and neighbors, if you would honor the memory of Gamez Theophilus Zilavez, then do good, bestow kindness, strive for beauty, seek and find the fountain that never runs dry, like Theo did. We all want to make a bigger impact. We have the ability to transform our community, one step at a time. Let's make it happen. Let's be like Theo. And now please stand as you are able. And join together in our closing hymn, We'll Build the Land. The lyrics are on the screen. I'll close with these words from UU Minister Amy Zucker Morgenstern. As we leave this hallowed place, may our feet remember its feel, so that wherever we walk, we know ourselves to be on hallowed ground. May we know that we are kin with every soul, every star, every stone and leaf of grass. And may our words be gentle and our touch be kind. Blessed be. As a baby.
repeat with me the words on the screen as we extinguish this chalice together. And then please remain standing for our final song weave, except before our final song weave, we'll have reflections on the service.
So you can remain seated.
So you could remain seated for that, until we do, after the reflection. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. We'll now open the floor for brief reflections of your experience with today's worship service and or what you took away from the sermon. For those in the sanctuary, please raise your hand and Betsy will call on you. A microphone will be brought, and share your name and keep the microphone close to your mouth like an ice cream cone so we can hear you better. Zoomers, we'd like you to include you too, so please type in the chat or raise your hand to let us know what you'd like to speak.
Anybody raise your hand?
You'll have to monitor chat.
Okay.
The other day I was at the grocery store and is it on? Yeah. I was at the grocery store the other day and there was a man in one of those motorized carts driving around. And, he looked a little unkempt. He was very thin, and there was hardly anything in his basket. And I really wanted to do something. I wanted to help or whatever. I couldn't, I just wanted to do something. So I finally went up, and I reached in my wallet, and I gave him a bill, and I said, I really want you to have this. And I said, it looks like you could buy more food or something, I was thinking. And so, he was very shy and, oh, yes, ma'am, I really don't, you don't have to do this. He was so sweet. But I sort of insisted a little bit. So then after a while, I'm walking around the store, and finally his cart comes up to where I am again. Apparently he had looked at the bill, and it was a little bigger than he thought it was going to be. And he said, oh, ma'am, I can't accept this. And, I was going to say, but I want you to have it. And a friend of mine said, no, you don't say that. What you say is, it would make me very happy if you would accept my gift. It would make me very happy. So, of course, he smiled because he wants to make me happy, right? So he accepted it. So I learned a lesson when she told me that, and it really meant a lot to me to be able to help someone.
I gotta say, Betsy, that was awesome. You really integrated this all so seamlessly. To take this novel and put all of you right into it. So those of you who are newer, I hope you understand, this is who we are. We are this type of person. And Betsy did a really great job of showing us by using literature that's very accessible. This is who we are. We really are this kind of person. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori.
The mic is not working, so I'll just be really loud. Thank you, Betsy. It's Betsy, right?
Yep.
I'm Heidi. I'm new.
Heidi, right.
My third time here. Are you all in the book club that just read this?
Well, my friend Julie, as I said, introduced the book to me, and then I introduced it to Ann Ivy. Stand up just real quick. Ann is the director of our beautiful and wonderful Eustis Memorial Library, Public Library.
Okay.
I am in her book club, so our book club read it as a group.
Okay, well, that's really good. Is it working yet? No, okay. You can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I just am moving to Eustis. I'm moving to Eustis. My folks live just down the road from Kentucky. And in an effort to try to meet people, anyway, I'll try to be short, is to join a book club. So I found a book club who is happening to read this book. And so I've been reading it, and then I saw that we were going to be talking about it today, and I've been ferociously trying to finish it, but I did not finish it before today, but that's okay.
I'm sorry about the
That's
spoiler.
okay. I'm glad you're able to enjoy this book. It's fine. But I've been listening to the audiobook, which is read by the author. If you get a chance to, if you're an audiobook person, it's really, really great, read by the author. Anyway, I thought perchance some other people might have been in that book club that I just joined, so I guess not, but it's nice to meet all of you.
Book clubs are great.
Thanks.
Hello, I'm a Zoomer. Can you hear me?
Betsy, I thought, we're good? I thought that was great. I have to mention that I don't think I was born a cynic, but I think I learned that skill very early on. And I've been working hard to, well, maybe not hard, I've been working at becoming less cynical, and I am less cynical, but I'm not perfect at it. And I really want to know, and I don't expect an answer, but am I supposed to forgive those three drunk guys?
I think that's up to you.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
The answer.
Yeah.
I also want to mention that I'm probably the best customer of Eustis Library. Since I've been here, we've been here in 2014, and I have saved over $18,000.
Yay, libraries. If there's one more, this will be the last one.
Can you hear me? I'm a Zoomer.
Hi everyone, I'm Michelle. Some of you may know me, some of you might not. I've been coming here for a while, not as consistent as I probably should. Maybe about once a month. Wendy and I are good friends. But I just want to say that that was a great choice, the book to talk about today. And I really, it resonates very much with me because the things that you talked about today are the very reasons I come back. So tempting to stay in bed on a Sunday morning. But the principles, the foundational principles of this congregation are the things that keep me coming back. And they're the reason my son, when I wake him up on a Sunday and say, hey, let's go to church, he doesn't fight and say, I don't like church, I don't want to go to church. He loves this place, and it's because of the love that everyone here exudes. This place is full of love, and full of beauty, and full of hope and joy. And that means a lot to people like me who are looking for something different, who are looking for a place to feel whole, a place to feel accepted, regardless of who we are. My daughter, as you all, many of you know, my daughter is gay, and we feel very accepted here. She feels accepted here for the first time ever in a congregation, and that is absolutely beautiful for me and my little family here. So I really appreciate all of you and the beauty that you all bring to this world, the beauty this congregation brings. I'm sorry, I'm tearing up because it's just such a great experience for me and for my family. And I thank you, Betsy.
Thank you, Michelle, and what a great last comment. Could you all please rise?